Hi guys, Alison back again. Right, as promised, I'm going to do a quick sort of tutorial on how I make my junk journals. This is going to just go through the basics really, because obviously, as I said before, there are lots of videos on YouTube that do give you very good tutorials on how to make the junk journals. But as I say, because I was asked if I could show how I do mine, I thought I'd just sort of give you a rough idea of how I do it. Right, first off, as I say, I've not gone through, I've prepared a lot of it just to save time and make it less boring. I tend to use chipboard for my covers, which have been cut out, and I've adhered patterned paper front and back. Now, these covers actually measure 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and then when I cut my pages, obviously they're in the region of, because some of them are different sizes, but I tend to cut them approximately 1/4 of an inch shorter all round. So as I say, so these would be 8 by 5 1/2, but then of course obviously you want some half size pages and things like that. So that's how I do that. Then I just gather what I want to put into my journal, or envelopes, tags and various things, and prepare all the pages. If you want to edge them, do that, and you know, things like that. And then when I come to doing my binding, I've found the easiest way with my binding tool is to make some templates. And what I do is I cut one that's the height of the cover, and I fold it in half and mark my halfway line. And then what I do is actually excuse me, use that line. And I don't know how I'm going to show you this very easy, but what I do is I line, I don't know if you can see on here, this line here. And what I do is I put my paper in with that line level to the line, so it's on the halfway mark of the paper. Line that up and cut that. Obviously punch my holes, and then I do then I pull that across and put the little pip through the second from last hole and redo it, so that way I know that this is central. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Sorry. So that I've got my binding central to the actual cover. So this area here and this area here is then the same. I just found that's the easiest way of doing it. I do one for my cover and one a bit smaller, because obviously my height of my paper is of my pages is shorter. So I do exactly the same thing. Measure that to the height of my paper, fold it in half to get my halfway mark. Mark a line here so I can see what I'm doing, and then line it up, as I say, yet again. I mean, this is the way I do it. It's not necessarily the best way of doing it, but it's the easiest way I've found over the years of doing it. So then, as I say, I line that line up with this on here and punch, and then I bring that across, put my little pip through the second from last hole there, and do that again. And then that way, as I say, I know that these are spaced centrally to my paper. So I'll just show you then how I use them. Once I've got my guides, I lay them on top of the paper, but away, oops, sorry, on top of the paper, but away from the edge that I want to punch. And I do exactly the same thing again. So I line it up with that line there, there, and I punch that. Then I don't need that anymore. Pull that across to my second from last hole, put the pip in, and I'll do the second lot of holes. So I'm not sure how easy you saw that, so I'm going to try and do it from a different angle now, so I don't know if this will work. Excuse me. So line that up on my paper. So because I'm doing it from a different angle, can you see that? Yeah, so line this line up to this line here. I'm going to have to do it left-handed. Oh, yep, it did work. So that's that. So there's my first half, and then this one, this hole here, second in, is the one that lines up with the pip on here. Push that across through the hole, and then punch the next lot of holes. And then, as you can see, then that's central to there. So that's how and then I prepare, you know, prepare all my pages like that. So they all get punched. When you've got little tags, you just obviously drop them in and punch them. I'm not going to obviously show you how to do all that. It's fairly straightforward, but I just wanted you to see how I went about lining my pages up. For the pocket that I've got here in the back of the book, I thought I'd just show you how I've done that as well. So what I did was I got a piece of cardstock, and this measures your 5.5, which is your back, but then obviously there's some either side. So overall the measurement is 12 inches. So I've used my 12-inch piece of cardstock. I've measured in 4 inches and scored, and then I've measured 5.5 and scored again, and that gives me this odd bit here, which is the flap that comes over the top. When I've cut it at 9 inches, and that 9 inches is then scored. So I then score along here at 1/2 inch and half inch, turn it round and 1/2 inch, so you've got 2 1/2-inch flaps. I've then removed all of the excess on the back part and the top flap, so it gives me a couple of pieces, so that makes up, so when you fold that up, that creates your pocket. Before you do that, I've punched out some cards or patterned pieces. What I've done, I mounted the patterned paper onto some cardstock to make them a bit firmer, and then I've punched a hole in the middle, which I've got a little brad, which will then fit through, and I've worked out where my centre point is on here and how far I want that to go. I've marked that, and I've actually punched the holes there, so I've got one there and one the other side. Oops, I'm just use these tiny little brads to fasten them on. Sorry, I don't even know if I'm on camera. So I need to just check that. They look a bit close, so what I'm going to do, oops, sorry, is just remark this hole back a little bit. And that's better. And obviously, sorry, just fold those out. And then I cut 2 more pieces of patterned paper out that matches the paper that I'm using, and just going to use some strong glue and just put those over, just over the ends of the brads, and then obviously that stops anything if you're putting things in the pocket, and it makes it look better on the flap, but it also stops anything catching as you're putting it in and out the pocket. So that's stuck there, and I've already put some tape on here, so obviously you need tape on your flaps, which I've, as I say, I've already used some of the extra strong sticky tape. Oops, sorry. And that just folds up there, and that creates your little wallet folder. I've just shaped this one a bit differently, but you can obviously round your corners here and shape that. And then you just want some baker's twine, which I've forgotten to leave out. So bear with me a second. Some baker's twine, just slide it under, and I've just tied it. Onto that one, and that will get, obviously that end needs snipping off, and then just work out how much you want to wrap round. And just snip that. I'll snip it a bit longer because on the other one I just added some beads, so I'll do that as well for this one. So I'll do that afterwards. But that gives you an idea of how I've made that that little folder that goes in the back of the book. So that's that. We've got, so once we've got all our pages together and our covers all and they've all been punched and ready for binding, so what you do, as I'm sure most people know, you need your back cover brought round to your front, and then you just feed your binding wires on. As I say, there's lots of good videos on YouTube, obviously, how to use your bind it all, but sorry, I'm going to just quickly put this on because I want to show you about the pockets as well. So, and your tags, I quite like having sort of split pages and things like that, so you're putting tags on there. Envelopes, patterned paper. I've obviously gone through and put this in some sort of order that I wanted before I started videoing this. You'll sort it out to the look that you want. One other thing, you can make a page using just folding it. Make a page, cut the paper bigger than you want your overall page, and score down the height of your page and bring that flat back up, and that makes like a double pocket. Well, it actually makes a treble pocket, because if you add a piece of score tape along the bottom, which I'm about to do, that then gives you a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. I don't worry normally of fastening along these edges, because obviously your binding will hold it. the only thing I will do, if I can find it. Should have looked for it before oh well, I need to just add a circle punch there to make a little area for the tab, but I'll add that afterwards, save time. So that's that. Tags, quite sweet. More paper, just layering it on. I like to stagger pages, so if I've got some at the bottom, then when I do a next half page I put it towards the top or the middle, so that it adds interest throughout the journal. Goes on there. Let's put that one to the top. So as I say, you can add whatever you want to your pages. Little games cards and things like that as well. And then of course we've got pocket. Actually, one of the things I think I will add to this is I'll add one of these little flashcards, so I'll quickly just punch that. So I'll just add that in there, just as something different in here. Right, and then finally I'm adding my wallet, but obviously you put that wherever you want. So just have a quick flick through and make sure it's sort of the look you want. Now on this I'm using wires that are 3/4 of an inch, but obviously you will if you've got a thicker journal, you obviously need to adapt accordingly. So that's, just double check that's right, and then we'll just tend to just gradually and gently squeeze it, moving it along as I go. Check it, it's not quite met yet, so just carry on. Yeah, I think that's about right. And then pull your back page round and let everything lay to the through. Right, so there you've got your bound journal. And then the other thing I did with the other one I made was put a little pocket in the front for putting extra tags and things. And what I've done, I've measured the width I want it and the height, and I've added sort of half inch there and an extra 3/4, basically extra half inch all the way round 3 sides. That way, as you can see, just made some little flaps, same as before, and cut the edges, the corners, just so they lay flat. And then that way, yet again with the score tape, I've just added my sticky tape round for the pocket. Oops. Work out where you want it to sit. And press that in there, and then that will give you a pocket for some extra journaling tags or whatever in the journal. And then obviously it's a case of just decorating it to how you want it. So I hope that's been of help. I know I've probably gone over a lot of things that are already on YouTube, but I thought I'd just show you how easy it is to make one of these journals. And if you make one, then give me a shout so I can come and have a look at what you've made on if you do a video, because I always like to see what other people have made. And yes, so yet again, thanks for watching, and please leave a comment, and yeah, I'll be back again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.